Welcome. This will be the best business and personal experience of your lives on Long Island. You have made the wise choice.
We sat on this couch right over here, and we're 10 women like a think tank. What are we going to do with this? We're sitting on something that has tremendous potential. And we decided to form a networking organization called the 110 Center for Business and Professional Women, because we were able to meet at Polytechnic Institute on Route 110. Helen arranged for us to have a light supper at Polytech, and I organized all the programming.
Francine Berger was the first speaker who gave the seminar on assertiveness training at the very first meeting of the center.
And it just kept growing because nobody else was doing anything like that on Long Island. We also decided we should honor outstanding women achievers, and everybody who was involved should put in some names. It was the most magnificent teamwork. Helen and I were a perfect team, and we had a marvelous board of directors.
Networking, which was hardly very well known at that time, was really what this was all about. The opportunity to meet other women, to meet people that they could learn from, to meet people that they could sell to.
We are the old feminists, and I say we are because we were a breed apart, but we wanted equal pay for equal work. We wanted daycare for our children. We wanted equal educational opportunity. The whole idea was to get women started, those who wanted to, and let me tell you, they came in droves. We did a lot of seminars. We were just bringing women really out of the dark ages as far as finances were concerned, educating them as to living wills and wills at all, and telling them how they could invest their money. I was president when we gave the first scholarship. It was going to be to help women come back to school to further their careers. And we decided at that time to name it after Madeline Gardner, who had just died. She was my mentor. She was an absolutely incredible woman.
There were very few role models from the corporate world that we knew. Audrey was, I think, the director of human resources for Lilco. In the early days, many women who had achieved any kind of status were either afraid to help people or who were too involved in trying to get to their own place. Audrey never hesitated about looking to help someone up the ladder. She said it was hard enough for her. She was probably one of the first mentors. But by the time I became president, it had expanded its boundaries, and many of the people were coming from all over Nassau and Suffolk. So we decided to rename it. Most people assume that networking means that you go up to somebody, hand them your card, and they're immediately going to do business with you. And if they don't, these people assume that networking failed. And that's not what networking is at all. Networking is building up your resource network, and that perhaps the person you've met can't use your services, but the persons or people that they know can. Or you in turn can avail yourself of their services, and some of the people that you know can also avail themselves of their services. If you come to one of the meetings, there's just so many people there for you to connect with and meet with and find support from.
The beginning times were very exciting because our meetings were small. 50 was a big meeting, so you really got to know everybody who was there. If you look around tonight at the journals on the chair, those journals in the format that they are today were my idea. While I was president, we also tried to bring corporate members for the first time into the Long Island Center. We lived on a shoestring. We never knew from one month to the other if we could make our payroll in the office.
The newsletter was a very small thing back in those days. It was, you know, a one-page type of thing.
Our office staff was in charge of getting the newspaper out. The newsletter committee, headed by Michelle Pincus. People are clamoring to advertise in it.
No comment on the Long Island Center would be appropriate without a salute to Maureen Dowling, the heart the heart, and I have to repeat it 3 times because behind each of the presidents with all their brand new ideas is the gal who gets the work done.
And I started here 18 years ago. It's when the center was in a box. Transition from typewriter to computer. The office staff was a little bit skeptical because we didn't know anything about how to even turn it on.
Yvonne, as in, you need help? Call Yvonne. Your computer broke down, call Yvonne.
And what she did for us at the center was bring the office and all of us into the 21st century.
Thank you, Yvonne.
In order to be president of the center, you have to be the executive vice president. So I knew I was coming into the presidency, and I was working with Harriet Corzin. She kind of broke it to me, this was during her presidency, that I'd be doing a lot of work as the executive vice president because she was going to law school. And I was executive vice president. I thought it was a nice way to raise money for our scholarships and get to see everybody's legs. After my presidency, well, you know, I started to believe the things I was saying, and I have never been as busy professionally as I am right now.
And then we ventured out to encourage the corporations of Long Island to participate in the Take Our Daughters to Work Day program. And we engaged Marie Wilson to come on out early on in February before the April date. And from that, so many companies and corporations and business entities knew who we were and what we stood for, that it just flowed right after that. And by the end of my presidency, I think we had something like 17 or 18 corporate sponsors.
I was very much focused on bringing the center forward in the Long Island community so that it was no longer referred to as your woman's group. The members were hungry for golfing and learning golfing. What the clinic had done was brought members who were more interested in that element, networking on the golf course, building business through golf, and sharpening their skills in such a way that you wouldn't feel awkward.
We may not always know everybody in the whole room, but they're going to get to know us.
The role of a membership committee member is simple. It's a huge committee, so you get to know already a lot of people. It doesn't take too much effort to go out there and represent the center.
Supporting our scholarship fund. I'm very happy that you hired me. Thank you so much.
The first Madeline Gardner Memorial Scholarship was $200, and we've grown to a point now where we offer many different types of scholarships, including that one.
This year we gave our first member's child a scholarship.
And as I always say, if you need any helicopter engine components, please give me a call because I can get it for you wholesale.
Esther, Ellen, myself, and Dorothy Carty came up with starting the network, and we're very proud to say that we were the first ones to establish it.
As far as I'm concerned, the center met and exceeded its mission for me. The center was instrumental in helping me achieve many of my business and professional goals. My term as president was successful because I had a fantastic board and staff. Everyone pitched in and supported the goals we had set. There was a real sense of teamwork and camaraderie.
During my tenure as president, I set a goal to focus on integrated and distinct quality initiatives that truly supported the center's mission to expedite the advancement of women to equal participation in business, industry, and the professions. We recognize the need for business leaders to partner with community-oriented initiatives and created strategic alliances with nonprofits to foster greater awareness of issues affecting women, such as heart health, breast cancer, and multiple sclerosis. Educating our membership was a top priority for my team. We sought to engage executive women, adding an array of corporate and individual members to our esteemed ranks, and fostered executive circles that encouraged mentoring partnerships. We saw the need to advance business-to-business relationships and created monthly programs and meeting forums that attracted new faces and new talents to our ranks while retaining our valued membership. We wanted to formally express our thanks to those that came before us and created the first Hall of Fame event, bringing back all the past achievers and all the past presidents to inspire communication and rejuvenate involvement.
We do a lot of networking, a lot of counseling, a lot of support, role model, giving back to the community, but most importantly, we mentor each other. There have been times when you have called upon your fellow member to help somehow, some way, how to land a client, how to deal with an irate boss, how to get a promotion, whatever the case may be, right there in your own workplace. If you're not mentoring another woman, you're doing something wrong.
I don't measure my achievements by the things that I've accomplished. My success to me is measured by the network of people that are part of my life and have helped me through these many things.
All over the world, women are struggling for proper recognition in their personal and professional lives because of barriers of prejudice, discrimination, ignorance, and indifference. Technology can go beyond all of those barriers. It continues to advance at the speed of light to change the world, and I'm grateful to be part of that revolution. My goal is to help women to harness that power, to use technology, to give people the tools that they need to use and make their lives better.
And we've grown so much.
We are an organization that is continually working on enhancing the role, enhancing the ego, enhancing the effect, enhancing the reach of women in terms of their achievement, personal as well as professional, and the impact they have on this society.
An organization like the Long Island Center is meant to just keep growing and doing and being.
I always felt that the center really did more for me than I did for it. And I think that that must have been what all the other women felt.